All right. Hello, everyone. Welcome to our weekly Team Passion call. It is Monday, February 5th. So I wanted this week to kind of get back to basics now that January's over, the BOGO is over. Like I loved the BOGO, but I'm glad it is over. It was like taking too much of my focus, too much of my attention. I'm like, I just want to do all the other stuff, but I was trying to get so many people set up. It was taking so much time. So, now we can go back to, we talked last week, or I posted in the team page about kind of, really using that, hey, $35 a month for the body membership or $99 a month to get the body membership plus 20 days of Shakeology. So those are the two things I'm talking about right now, just to keep it really simple. If someone's coming back, like a lot of times they'll say, what's the best deal right now? And so I'll give them either the $99 pack or the $179 pack, but that's really all I'm talking about, those three things. The $35 and the $99 for all new people, and then for people who kind of know how this all works, the $179 for the total solution pack is the best deal. So tonight I want to talk about what I have been doing for the last 13 and a half years. Like nothing has changed, and I do hit Success Club consistently. I miss it maybe once or twice a month, once or twice a year now. I hit it for like 88 months in a row and then lost it. And now I'm like, so I don't get as stressed out about trying to keep it. But so once or twice a year, I might not hit it, but I hit like four. So it's not like I'm not trying. So this is what I've been doing for 13 and a half years. I choose business hours, right? 13 and a half years ago, it was from 8 o'clock at night till about 9:30 at night. It was 90 minutes. I know people like to work in pockets of time. So if that's you, you keep doing that. But for me, I like to sit for a solid 90 minutes. I feel like I get so much more. I feel like it's kind of like my workout. Once it's done type thing. And then any of extra work that I do is overtime, or like, going for a walk with the dogs or whatever. Not that I do that a lot because my dogs suck to walk, but just being outside, maybe swimming in the summer, anything extra workout wise is overtime. And it's kind of the same with the business. If I sit down for 90 minutes, I know that I did everything that I needed to do in those 90 minutes. And if I do another reel or do another story or make another post, then that's all gravy, right? So what do I do? First, personal development. That's what I start with. It's usually either something in growth day, something in our mindset tab, the Body Partner app. So I try to not just do training. I try to also do something that's going to get my mindset right. So that's usually growth day or the mindset tab, or I might pull out a book and read a chapter. And then I'll do a training. So those are kind of the first two things I do. So like today I didn't listen to the National Wake Up Call, so I'll probably do that after I do growth day tomorrow. I'll do a growth day, morning fire, morning journal, and then I'll do the Body Partner app National Wake Up Call. Or I still have that one more training and that triangle training on the mindset tab, so maybe I'll do that, and then the Body Partner app National Wake Up Call, right? So I at least get two things of personal development in, one that's going to work on my mindset and one training. So back in the day, I would just click around in the Coach Online office. Like I would just literally be like, what's this training? What's this? And I would just go through. I didn't wait for my coach to tell me what training I should do. I would just literally do things. And because I was doing it every day, or at least 5 days a week, I was getting through trainings really well. And I always have a notebook, so I take notes on the training. So it's like, you want to look at this opportunity, this business, as you're training for a new job, right? Like when you go and sit and train for a new job, you shadow someone, or you sit with them, or you watch a training, or you take notes, and then you pull your notebook out the next day. Like I remember like sitting at a corporate job and writing notes down, and then when it was my turn to do it myself, I followed the note. right? So that I want you to look at this in that same mentality. Okay, I took notes yesterday. Let me review those. What did I learn and how can I implement that into my business? And just always, whatever works for your brain. If notes work in an app or whatever, but for me, it's a notebook. So whatever works for your brain, you do that. So that's, you know, a part of your health esteem bat, personal development. So check, right? Use this. If this is too big and overwhelming, at least use the categories. At least look at the categories and be like, okay, personal development, check. Product of the product. You want to make sure you're doing a fitness program, you're following a nutrition plan, you're using the supplements. That's 3 social media posts a day. Like that, not salesy or anything, but talk about your workout, whether it's in a reel, whether it's in a story, whether it's a news feed post. The next time, talk about your supplements, whether again, and use your challenge group too, like, or use our big team challenge group. So you're like, okay, today I posted my workout, maybe tomorrow I'll post about my supplement in my challenge group or something. So just be alternating and putting that all out there, and whatever you learned in your mindset stuff too. That's a great social media, something in your stories. I have to get better at that. Like, I'll read something and it's amazing and I go tell you guys about it, but I should also be putting that on my social media. So check. We just did product of the product and we just did personal development, right? And so that's what I would sit and do. I obviously, in my 8 to 10:30 at night, or at 8 to 9:30 at night, my 90-minute business time doesn't include my workout, right? But so that's separate. But I do my personal development first, I do a training, and then I sit down with my list. So you should have a big list. It should be everybody you know. It should just be a big list. I have mine here. Just to show you, but I have my big contact list. Like, I just have my list and I go through, and some of it's people that are already doing things. So it's a check-in, but then it's people maybe that I said happy birthday to a couple weeks ago, or like the other day or something. I put them on my list, and then the next week or two I go check in, I see how their birthday was, and just kind of getting to know people and building those relationships, maybe watching their story and commenting on it, commenting on something that they posted in their news feed. Because if you're consistently doing that to at least 5 to 10 people a day from your list, they're going to see your stuff more. That's what the algorithm does. So I take my big contact list. Like today, I did 8 check-ins with current people. Like, that was the first thing I did. Okay. In December and January, I had a lot of people on BOGO. How is everybody doing? I'm not seeing everybody on the workout log that I signed up. So I went in, how's it going? What's going on? And then I went to my Beachbody customer list, or my Body customer list, for people that have placed orders in the past 2 months. And I went and I said, hey, I have a challenge group. And I invited them to our challenge group. I played that. I sent them a link of the Body walkthrough video that I've done, so they know everything they get with their membership. And so that's a couple of things that I did today. But then I do take 10 minutes of scrolling on my feed and I comment on a bunch of people's posts. I take my birthday list, people whose birthdays it was that day, and I say happy birthday to them, but then I also go and comment on like their last 5 posts or so, to kind of just see, not every single, I don't make 5 comments, but like I'll do a click a like or a love or something, or I'll make a comment. And so I'm always trying to make connections and talking to people through my contact list, whether is it time to invite them? Am I still building a relationship with them? Should I be commenting on all of their stuff so that then they see my stuff? So that's this whole section of connect, invite, follow up. And again, if this doesn't work for your brain, you come up with some categories of what this looks like for you. Like I just said, I'm checking in, I'm building relationships, I'm making comments, I'm adding new friends. I do 2 friend requests a day from people that are in my suggested group. A lot of it's people from high school, like, that I've been friends with. I'm friends with like a bunch of mutual friends, and I'm like, oh, and I don't know the person's married name, so I have no idea who they are. And then I'm like, oh, now I know who they are once I start like looking on their feed. Um, so that's kind of what you're doing. And that takes me less than 90 minutes, but depending, like the national wake up call will take, tomorrow will take 45 of those 90 minutes. So, and then I'll do 15 minutes of a personal development, and then I'll have 30 minutes left to do all this social media stuff that I talked about: make a post, do a story, do a reel, make connections, invite people to my challenge group, go into my body customer list and see who's still out there, go, all of those things. But then I don't worry about, like, if I'm just making connections with all these people and I'm doing happy birthday messages, I'm liking and comment, I don't really do much with them until we're having a conversation. So it's very like a habit for me. I'm just constantly trying to build connections with people all over social media. And I'm just kind of doing it the way I just said: commenting, liking, happy birthdays, all the things. And then when I see that they're watching my story, or I see that they're commenting on things, then I send a message to them and try to like build that relationship a little more. If they're watching particularly a story of mine, or they've clicked going or interested in my event, or I constantly see like that they're watching my workout videos, then I go and I talk to them and I say, "Hey, thank you so much for watching my stories. Um, are you currently working on some health and fitness goals?" So I know I'm not the type of leader that gives you systems and graphics and scripts. I'm the type of leader that wants you to learn to do this yourself in your own way that is most comfortable for you and that works with how your brain works. I'm a very visual person, so I need to see them on this contact list, then I need to see who they are on Facebook. Like, I'm very visual. So I need to make sure that it's comfortable for me, it's fun for me, and it's not a chore. Like, I don't want to look at this list and go, ugh, I don't want to do this today. Like, I want, because it's fun to just go see what people are up to. Like, I love, like, I was looking at someone's post from my list and I'm like, oh my gosh, they're going on a Disney cruise. So I was like, like, I just, like, I want your feed and your list to be full of people like that. I unfriend probably 2 to 3 people a day because I'm like, okay, you haven't posted in 2 years. I don't know how to build a connection with you. Unfriend. I don't, obviously, if it's not someone I know at all. Like, I'm like, I don't really know why we're friends. I don't know why and I just unfriend. So my feed is very much my people. I, people all the time will be like, I hate social media. And I'm like, then you don't have the proper friends list. Like, or you're not commenting on the right people's stuff to make sure they show up more in your feed. My feed's fun and full of uplifting and positive people. And if it's not, I either snooze that person or I unfriend them. Like, I'm just like, I don't want them in my feed. Like, there's some people that were like past body customers that are like, some of the stuff they post, I'm like, that's gross. Like like a gross meme, like a sex meme or something that I'm like, what? Like, this is weird. Like, and I just unfriend them. I'm like, I don't want to see that. Like, you know what I mean? Like, just not even people that I knew from before. Like, and they think they're being funny and like they think it's a joke. And I'm like, yeah, you're not my people. Like, I don't, that's not funny, and just different. That just is the first thing that came to my mind. But something, oh, that's constantly negative, like that constantly is commenting negative stuff. I'm like, I can't do this. I don't want to see your stuff. Um, so you control what your feed looks like or what your stories look like and what you see. So, and then once we're having a conversation about like, hey, yeah, I am working on my health and fitness goals. I'm like, oh, wait, and we start, do you have a nutrition plan? Do you have a fitness plan? And they start talking to me. Then they go on my 10 in playlist. So I'm always talking to 10 to 15 people a day. And then my goal is to get them on this list. How do I get these people on this list? As I started a fresh list for February, so my list is empty, which I like to share. I have 0 Success Club points right now, and I have 0 on my 10 and playlist right now, and it's February 5th, and I want everybody to know that I start over every month too. So I start from scratch. Like there was a lot of people still left on my list that just kept dragging their feet. And I'm like, okay, we're starting fresh. Like and I did one last follow up with them all. And then that was it. So, that's it. That's my 90 minutes of my business plan every day. Personal development, mindset, and then a training. Make sure you're doing the product of the product. That's different. That's not concluded in your 90 minutes. And then you're just making connections and inviting and following up and doing your social media posts and reels and stories and videos and whatever. You're making sure your feed, like I noticed today, I was like, oh, my feed is a lot of body stuff right now. So I needed to add, like I just made a post about the Grammys. Like I'm like, oh, I need to shake this up. This was too much body in a row, and I don't want my feed to ever look like that. I want my kids on there, the pets, what I'm interested in, what I'm reading, what and I decided this week too, I'm a work in progress on this. So don't go look at my Instagram and be like, yeah, you're not doing that. I decided in my stories to do more of my personal, like to talk about my day more throughout my stories. Like even something as silly as laundry or something, or driving Ella to school, or I just want to map out my day a little bit more and not just be like, I just got a pedicure or manicure, like not just when something seems fun and exciting. Like I want to map out my day so that people can get to know me a little bit more over on my Instagram stories as well, and not just have it be my meals, my workouts, I do sometimes, but I want to be more intentional with that, I guess is my plan. And then however you need to track this stuff, I made for the team and I posted in the group, but let me know if you need it. I made a spreadsheet that just, I made a spreadsheet and then I printed it out and then I used pen to check it out. So I don't like I love the idea of looking at a spreadsheet, but I don't want to go put my numbers in. So what I did in January is, so I write it down here. Like, so today I did 8 conversations and 7 invites. And so at the end of the month, I will go and plug the numbers in because I do want to see it. Like I'm doing a new tab for each month. And then at the bottom, I'm putting like how many Success Club points and how many business partners I signed up. So I want to track that. But for the month, I'm just using it on paper and then I'll go plug it in so that I can actually see what I did at the end of the month. So those are like the tools I have sitting out on my list, on my desk each day. I have my contact list, I have my 10 in play, and I have my little spreadsheet. And that's it. I think if you try to do anything more, it gets overwhelming. And like I said, I try to do 10 to 15 connections, conversations a day. If 5 works for you, then start with 5. And you'll realize that, maybe 5 isn't leading to enough invites. So you want to start playing with that in your mind. And some days I do 15 and then some days I do 5. Like it just kind of depends on the day too, and how much time I have and what happens in my world. Like this week, I just looked at my cozy calendar. Like I have no appointments. I was like, oh, I'm not gonna have any interruptions this week. Knock on all the wood. My kids are gonna call, someone's gonna be sick, all the things. But as today, I was like, oh, okay, I'm gonna sit down. And it felt I got so much done because I wasn't like, oh, I gotta do this because I have to leave in a couple minutes. It was those 90 minutes were 90 minutes uninterrupted and very intentional. Um, so is that helpful? Does that make sense? Yeah. I mean, the name of
Very, because I did wonder how you use the Excel sheet. Like, I know it's just minute details, but I overthink things. So I I try to copy what you're doing because I know it works, and it makes me have to think less and double think things and overthink things. So yes, very helpful. Thank you.
yeah. Yeah, and my categories are connections, which are new followers and new friend requests, conversations with a current client, check-ins and relationship building, health and fitness invites, inviting them to accountability group or inviting them to learn more, and then business invites, invite them to listen to a video, invite them to become a partner. So, but I did put that in the group, but if you can't find
Yeah.
it, but
And then tallying the numbers at the end of the month and keeping that, like, I've not tracked that kind of stuff enough. Like,
yeah.
I guess because I know that I need to take more action. So I kind of thought of it as pointless, but it's not. So I need to keep track.
Yeah, no, it's a good baseline and then it's a good visual to look at the end of the month. Like I hit Success Club 10 last month and my goal is 15 and my goal is to sign 2 business partners. So when I looked at the month, I was like, "Oh, yeah, I did 3 business invites." That's doesn't equate to in the whole month. So that doesn't equate to me signing 2 business builders. Like that's not even close. Like I that so um I did do a lot more public business talk though. So that was the improvement in January. So I was like, okay, at least I'm getting on the right track. Um
That's where I need to do more. And I feel like I don't know what to say.
I think the biggest thing like right now my mindset is what am I using my body paycheck for? So it's it's not what it once was, right? It's not thousands of dollars a week like it was years ago. It's getting down there. So for me, it's activities for the kids or starting to think about Sammy's college now that randomly she's going to college. So,
Surprise.
so now I'm like, well, I wasn't planning for this. Like, so to be able to just write a check for those 2 classes every session for $1,800 and not stress about it. So $1,800 every 8 weeks. So what does that look like in my body business? Like just kind of backtracking, reverse engineering what it is. And simplicity for those who are just, maybe making $50 a week or sometimes 50 and sometimes 0, it's your gas for the week. If you literally just share on social media, that's way more powerful than me saying I put in a because people are gonna be like, well, good for you. Like you know what I mean? Like I was more effective when I was using this money. When I was sharing, I'm using this money to put gas in the car. I'm using this money to put groceries on the table. I'm using this money for formula. I'm using this money for diapers. So that's all you need to share about. Like
Yeah.
literally
The everyday stuff that people
the
relate to.
everyday small stuff that people don't want to have to reach into their budget for. I guess I get that food and gas is in their budget, but you know what I mean? Like, oh, if I could make this extra income to supplement my gas, like that's $50 a week that I don't have to that I could maybe put in a savings account. Like just to get people to think of that. I was listening to something today, a bunch of teachers, I forget what state, but a bunch of teachers for the past 10 years or something have been buying a Powerball and they won. They won $1 million to split. There were like 30 of them. And it was like they've been doing this for consistently for 10 years and they finally won. And one of the teachers said, as teachers, we're always looking for extra jobs or ways to earn extra income. So this is what we were doing. And I was like, yes, like everybody's looking. And Mark and I were talking about this last night. Like we were talking like 6 figures, like making $100,000 a year isn't what it was cracked up to be 10 years ago. Like that was a lot of money 10 years ago. Now you're like, why am I struggling making 6 figures? Like this is silly. Like because of how much the cost of living has gone up. So it's those little conversations, it's those little things and those little conversations. So like I literally wrote on my thing this week, talk to moms who are looking to pay for activities and not have to go into their family budget. So think of something niche wise in your life that could be like, what is that? And again, until you find what that is, because it's going to come to you, it might take a little bit. Talk about gas, talk about groceries, talk about the little stuff that just this money, this supplemental income is helpful. And now in the Body Partner app, there's a whole training or a whole sample of how to talk about it and what to say,
Okay.
with things like that. There's examples that Kevin did.
And I
Uh,
forgot you had that 21-day social media posting calendar as well.
yep. Yeah, so that's in the team page too. If you
I
search
printed that out.
21-day business posting calendar, it should come up. And it just gives you ideas. And like, the idea of me as your leader, like when I sit down to think of how I can lead this team, I don't want to feed you the answers. I want to give you the how to and some samples and some ideas. And then I want you to fit it into your life and what works for you and what works for your brain. So that's why I don't stress so much about scripts or here's exactly what you should say. Like, because then I also, on the flip side of that, I sometimes see a team all making the same post. And I'm like, oh, like, and I know I'm the only one seeing that because I'm friends with all of them, but it's like, I want it to be, I want it, we're all at different stages in our life, at different seasons in our life, so, Becky, you might start thinking about, okay, I'm going to have grandkids that I want to be able to spoil, so that so maybe you're talking to soon to be, grandparents in the next, or paying for a wedding or, um,
Funny that you say that.
oh, yeah.
Um, Alex's Kaylee's boyfriend called Mike and I to ask if we could ask Kaylee to marry him.
Oh, sweet. That's so sweet that still happens.
He's a Southern boy in the
Uh,
Navy.
yeah, that's awesome.
So sorry, didn't mean to.
No, don't be
Like,
sorry. That's awesome.
but like, I can't say anything because she can't know. So
Right,
like,
right, right.
I'm like, and I want to tell my sister so bad, but she sucks at keeping secrets.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So we gotta keep this secret. Yeah.
Don't send her this recording.
No, she's not invited to be a body partner right now.
But yeah, so just thinking about the season of life you're in, like I constantly think about, okay, 13 and a half years ago, I needed money to put gas in the car and put groceries on the table and not charge formula and diapers. Now, what am I looking to supplement our income with? And what does that look like now? 13 and a half years ago, I was looking to lose baby weight. Now I'm looking to not go haywire in menopause, right? Like, so thinking about what season of life you're in and talking to those people, I think is key, and kind of being creative with what you're either currently using your body money for or what you would like to use your body money for. But a lot of people get hung up on, well, I feel like it's imposter syndrome because I haven't made it yet. Yeah, but are you making $25 sometimes or $20 or $30 to sometimes put gas in the car? Then yes, talk about that. Like, it's the little things. So
Covering the shakes.
covering your shakes, yeah. And just getting to that point. Like, I remember in the beginning, my goals were, I was like, okay, my goal is to cover my shakes. So $25 a week was what I wanted to make. So I had to sell at least one bag of Shakeology. Like, that was my goal every week, or sell at least one body membership. And then once I did that, I was like, okay, now I need to double that. And my goal was always to just keep doubling it, but I had to consistently hit it first before I then doubled it. And so I was constantly thinking of my next income increment of what I wanted to hit. And then I would equate that to the number of people like that. And I watch the group volume bonus training that Kevin Shaw did. because not only it's a lot. I'm like, okay, I'll let the computer do that for me, Kevin, but thank you. But it shows you the compounding effect of people staying on Shakeology, people staying on the supplements, people, and how your income keeps growing. Like that was always my goal. Okay, sign 3 people a month that are going to stay on Shakeology. So then the next month when I sign 3 people, I'm still getting paid for 6 now. And then it just keeps compounding over time, whether that's in volume or whether that's in retail commission, depending on how they sign up. But that was always my mentality, to keep people on it, which is why in your current challenge group, or if you're in the big team one and your team is in the current challenge, that's why I've started, like today I was like, oh, here's my post workout, the chocolate recover, and 2 people commented, I love my recover, I love my so if more people talk about that, other people will be like, wait, oh, I just thought my coach did it because she wanted to make more money, or whatever. But it's like, no, everybody's using it. There's more people, not everybody, but there's more people using it. So just kind of talking in your challenge group, that always be selling to your current challengers too. Like that's another mentality you want to, some people might come in just for Shakeology or just for the workouts. And then they come in and they want to try Energize and that's why when I do the workout log prizes, I send samples of Energize, Recover, and Shakeology. Like that's the prize. Unless it's someone who's been around, like this time around, it's basically everybody who already drinks all of that. So I was like, all right, what do you want from this pile? Like I started just asking, what do you want
That
from
was
this pile?
funny.
Yeah. I'm like, I'm just trying to get rid of everything. But if it's a brand new person that wins, they're getting Energize, Recover, and Shakeology. Energize, Recover, and Shakeology. Energize, unless I know they have an allergy. So, yeah. So just kind of being, also doing that, also selling to your current people. Cool. All right. Awesome. Don't overthink it. Keep it simple. Connections. 90 minutes of hitting those 3 vital behaviors, or 2, personal development, mindset, and training. And then that big section, inviting, connecting, following up, getting people on your 10 and play. And then I guess the third would be working on your social media. All right. Have a wonderful night.